Hi there, Mark here, family man and father of 3. In this video I thought I would carry on with regards what I did with the Warlord Games Royal Marine Commando World War II little project that I did, but do something a little bit different. I've been doing quite a lot of 25mm sort of like World War II miniatures, and obviously I did the Zulus as well not too long ago. And what I thought I'd do is something a bit sort of like retro with regards to myself, and do a little bit of Games Workshop. I do have a considerable amount of box stuff in my cupboard, and I thought I'd grab one of those boxes and give that a paint as well. So I decided to rummage through, found some Necromunda stuff that I've had for about a year now. I did paint a couple of gangs, the starter sets that was, and I found one of these and I thought that'd be a nice little mini project. It's 10 models, but they're generally highly detailed, so they do take a little bit longer to paint individually because they are quite unique. So I thought I'd start that project with you guys. This video might take a little bit of a while to run through, just like the Commandos one, as I kind of like guide you through the step-by-steps that I will go through. First part of the video we'll look at assembly, and I hope to see you there soon. Take care. Thanks. Right then, fellow hobbyists, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to take a little bit break from Warlord Games and a bit of World War II stuff and do a bit of sort of like science fiction fantasy. I thought I'd go back to some good old Games Workshop stuff. Many years ago I did buy the Necromunda start set, and I did buy a couple of gangs, of which I've painted a few, but the Orlock one has stuck in my sort of like cupboard for nearly a year now. And I thought I'd take the opportunity obviously to have a break and do something a bit different. The Orlock gang seems fairly straightforward, looking at from what I remember from the front and the box set, and looking at the pictures here. It seems like a fairly simplistic paint system, so it should be fairly easy for me to get cracking and into. Box set obviously is original, so I've got the some pictures of some models at the front and some more ideas of weapons and gear at the back, with some suggested Citadel miniature paints. So I have obviously opened this box set before, many months ago, so I do roughly know what the content is if it has been a while. Put the box set out of the way. So here I've got the bases, pre-modelled, so they're quite nifty and nice. Means you don't have to spend as much time obviously doing the bases, although you do tend to have to try and align the feet so that it doesn't look a bit weird. What I've got here is the booklet, just to show how to obviously build a gang. What I tend to do, because I don't play the game very often, I tend to build the default ones. I've always planned to if I did play it a bit longer or more, I would kind of like build my own models if you like, but the other gangs I've tended just to build the default ones. So these ones just show you the pre-default. So I've got 4, 8 and then 2 at the back, 10, so that's your gang of 10, and then there's some optional ideas at the back there. And then I've got first sprue here. With the Necromunda sprues, I tend to like the fact that they're rammed full with loads of options and loads of bits. So I'm assuming when you get really into the game, you can really customise your models and do loads of different things with them, and they are very detailed. So that's quite nifty and nice. So that's the first sprue. As you can see, I think there's about 4 or 5 bodies on there. So you got that one, and then here's the second sprue here. Again, looks like you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially models here. I'll obviously not know until I start building them and see what all the bits are. And that's the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and then I'll probably build one of the models on camera, Zeke or something like that. That looks like a good starting one. And then once I've built that, I'll cut again, build the others, and then do it like step by step and stage. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this project with me. Right then, welcome back. I'm just going to do the next step, which is gluing it all together and obviously taking it apart, etc. So as I later realised, after looking at the sprues in more detail, each clan box set or gang box set comes with 2 sprues, but they're exactly the same. So I just recalled that afterwards when I started looking at what parts I needed on the instructions. So the red and the blue are basically from 2 different sprues, so it just makes it easier when you're working your way down. So obviously all the red are from one sprue, all the blues are from another with regards to body type. So as I said before, I'll start making Zek. I'll make that with you guys, and then what I'll do is I'll then glue the rest together at a later date off camera, so that you can just so you don't have to watch me obviously do all that. So I'll start with Zek. So I'm looking for parts 1, 2 and 3, fairly straightforward. So I'll grab those right now. Like I said, the 2 sprues are exactly the same. So I've got part 1 here, so I'll just clip that one out. One. Try and look for number 2. Here's number 2. 2. And then what am I looking for? Back part of the body, so number 3. Obviously if you see it before me, let me know. Number 3, should be fairly close up. There it is, right in front of me. Got to be careful with some of this because it looks quite detailed. Don't want to mess it up. It's going to be a bit tricky. Okay, so I'll get the body in place first. There you go. Got to be really careful with that one because it's got like a little bolt just there, as you can see. So got to be careful when trimming this, because like I said to you before in a previous video or previous section of this video, the model is very detailed. So any slip potentially, and I've cut something off I shouldn't have. Okay, I think I've got all the excess off. Just get a little file. Let's just move it off a little bit. That's that part done. Next part. Now, you might think, well, why am I doing the foot? What I tend to find sometimes is, if I don't clean that bottom part of the foot when I stick it on a sprue, it sometimes makes the model wobble a little. Okay, that one's done. A gentle slip there. There you go. Right, so now I need grab a space while I'm here. go. Right, sorry about that. I just thought I'd pause the video while I just cleaned the end. It obviously got a bit jammed with glue, not having used it for a while. I didn't think you wanted to see me with a needle cleaning out that glue, so just paused it for a second while I found the tools to clean it up. So there's a leg in. There's the body. Hold it for a few seconds so it's nice and tight. Right. So next part then I need is so I need 4, 5 and 6. So 4, 5 and 6. So 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6. Oh, here's 6. 6, 5, 15, 54, 45. Number 5 is eluding me. Like I said, if you see it, let me know. Oh, there he is, number 5. And then I need head 51. Head 51. I need 4. There's 4. I think that's it. So head, 2 arms, that's it. So that's 2 heads. Let's clean them up. So, this one looks quite a delicate piece, so I'm going to have to be fairly careful with this. Be very careful with this one, I'm not too sure, I might have to. Last but not least, head. Right, there's all the pieces cleaned. Let's get the glue out again. Hopefully by this time the body's dried. So let's have a look at the picture. So I've got one gun pointing outwards as such, and then we've got another gun a bit further downwards. As such. Okay. Right then. So, make sure I got that right. As such. And then the other one. As such. Right then. Shoulder pads. I presume. To hide the as such. There you go. And then head. Okay, so we've got, there you go. So I'd say fairly close to what we got here then. Okay, sticking on the base. So I want to see what we got here. So what feet? So it's the 1 foot fully on and the other partial. So yeah, I'll stick him that way. So I got a solid under his foot. Okay, so there you go, finished. So what I'll do is I'll assemble them all up, and then I'll probably paint them in groups of 5. I think that'll probably be the easiest. Okay, thank you very much. Right then, I only just managed to get the first layer on the Necromunda Orlock gang members done. I'm going to try and do them in batches of 5, so 2 groups basically. There's been a lot going on the last few weeks with regards to trying to get some more Zulu warriors finished and a few other bits and bobs. So the first thing I've done is put the first, if you like, first main layer on. Again, I've not been very delicate with regards to that. It's just literally just get that undercoat layer in. So based on the Orlock gang sort of like schemes, I'm just going to stick with that initially until I get a clearer idea as to what needs to be done. Okay, so obviously you can see here I've basically done the basic primary colours. So for the shirt I've used some sky blue first shade. For the belt and the sort of like little backpack, if you like, I've used spear shaft shade. For the metal I've used chainmail. Once I've done the wash, I may use some bronze on some of the areas just to make it a little bit different. On the additional sort of like clothing, I've used Arctic Grey. And then for the 2 tones of skin, because I've got 2 different sort of like skin tone gang members, I've got Flesh for the 1 type and African Flesh for the next. Okay, so what I'm going to do is because I haven't got as many models as I did when I did the Commando videos, I'm going to wash these now. I'll probably use 2 different types of washes to try and get those done, and then I'll just make a little quick video for that section. Okay. Right then, so I'm on to the second stage, which is washes. I've decided to use 2 washes for these models. Normally I just stick to the one, either brown or black as a normal, unless I'm using obviously bright colours, just like in the previous video I mentioned. So I've used the brown for the flesh washes, and I've used black ink for the rest of the model, just to re-bring out that detail and to highlight those. So as you can see here, it's quite obvious on some areas where you can see obviously it's gone in there, and then here's the other one there, just so that. Okay, now what I might do is I might sort of like use the brush just to get rid of some of the excess if I need to, just like that, just to brush it out so there's not too much. But then in some areas it's quite nice just to let it pull, so I've got that extra sort of like depth and detail. So the next step will be to start bringing out that detail, which will probably take a lot longer on these models because obviously more detailed than the bolt action ones. Okay. Right then, I've applied the next layer of paint onto the Necromunda Orlocks, the 5 that I'm doing with regards to the batch. So I've layered these, obviously leaving the recess in some of the areas, as you can see here. For the shirt, I've applied the next layer of blue sky. For the tabard and sort of like the links around the shirt and the odd bits and bobs, the next layer of Arctic Grey. For the backpack and belts and some of the barrels of the guns and knives, etc., I've done the spear shaft, next layer again. For the skins, I've done the next layer of the flesh, or the African flesh, darker flesh. And then what I said was, like last time, that once I'd done the layer of gold and done a wash, I would kind of like bronze the arms up. So for that I've applied burning gold, but I've applied the first layer for that, so the shade. What I may do then is I might apply another wash like I've done here, as you can see here, just to give it that sort of like darker feeling, and then sort of like touch it up on the final stages. For the weapons and the metal parts are done now, and for that I applied the last part of the spear point, so I missed out the beak because I didn't think it was needed. And then once I'd done all those, I did a touch up of black. And then what I'm going to do for the bases is I've applied the darker, or should I say the lighter shade of the charcoal black. Okay, and then I'll use an even lighter colour with regards to that. Okay, so I'll keep you posted. So the next stage should realistically be the final, so they should all be done for then. Right then, so the first 5 of those models are done. I will take some stills at the end of the video just to obviously get a better idea and picture, so that the camera's a bit better focused. So I've got the champion and 4 others, so they're all done and dusted. I'll repeat the same process for the next 5, and then maybe do like I did with the commandos, just an update video just to show all 10 done. So as expected, for the hair on the one, I just finished off with the ochre light, and then for the hair for the other gang member, buff leather, just because it was a lot lighter on the dark and showed it up a little bit better. For the straps and backpack, I used a spear shaft again just to bring it out a little bit. Flesh tones, I did the fleshlight and African fleshlight. For the tabard and a few other sort of like minor details, I used the white, and then just a little bit of a touch on the shoulder pads with burning gold light. To finish off the bases and just to bring up some of the black areas a little bit, I used some Citadel Space Wolf Grey. Okay. Hi there. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and it's been of some use to you. I would love to hear about what you think and maybe offer some suggestions for future videos. I've included some stills and a little turnstile video as well at the end of this, just so you can take a little look and get a bit of a sort of like better close-up. I will do another video later on with regards an update when I've done all 10 of them together and just done a few bits and bobs here and there as well, just to give you an update on that. As always, thank you very much. Take care.